What's up, guys? It's your boy Chris Platoon of channel Tell Me More, the haven for early 2000s kids and a few 90s babies. So let's get into this. Oh, I'll drop a like, sub, all that great stuff, and we're gonna be talking about Ben 10, the OG series. Specifically, we're talking about season 3, episode 1, Ben 10,000. The classic, the first time we ever met the dude. So I'm just gonna go into it and talk about more stuff later and drop comment, all that stuff, like share. But the episode starts off with Ben and Gwen telling Grandpa Max they're obviously by with the RV and stuff, but they're in Mount Rushmore. I'm pretty sure they're around Mount Rushmore. Maybe they just dropped off the null void stuff, but they're at Mount Rushmore. It is Grandpa Max's 60th birthday. Happy birthday to that dude. So they're like, either Ben or Gwen is like, I got the s'mores, or the marshmallows. I got the marshmallows. I got the crackers. They're gonna make some s'mores for him. He's like, oh, that's nice. It's good to see you guys getting along. Then he carries an axe to go into the woods to go chop down some trees and stuff. As he leaves, bam, they begin fighting. Apparently, Ben was supposed to get the cake, but I don't know, he forgot or something. And now he's like, no, you get it. And also, Gwen shoved him and stuff. So there was that too. But Ben is like, I'll play rock, paper, scissors with you, i.e. Gwen, to see who gets the cake for Grandpa Max's 60th birthday, which makes no sense because I'm like, just turn to accelerate and run over there and get it, Ben. Like, you're doing too much. By the way, they do, okay, ready, set, 1, 2. As soon as they were about to hit 3, some portal just opens up in the background. After the portal opens up, someone just flies through, grabs Gwen. She's like, ah! The person flies away into the portal while, what's his name? Ben's like, oh, hold on, or whatever he said. Turns into accelerate, super speeds into the portal, and then the intro hits. All that stuff. I'm not going to sing it this time. But after the intro, it switches to a town-looking place. Guess where? It's the future. If you've seen it, it's the future. That's why it's called Ben 10,000. But the person who kidnapped Gwen is flying with Gwen in a city, while Ben, out of nowhere, as the portal closes behind her, she's like, But Ben, since he's accelerate, just rushes from her front. She's like, huh? Bink! Drops her, grabs Gwen before the lady falls on the floor. She's like dressed in lucky girl stuff. But after this, he's like, where are we? Well, either Gwen or him says, where are we? They look around, then they see a giant, before they see the giant statue. First, it was a girl that was like did she have a hoverboard? Either she had a hoverboard or she had a hoverboard. I think she had a hoverboard. She's like, hey, Ben, looking good, or something like that. My boy started waving in his accelerate form. What's her name? Gwen pulls his hand down. After that, 2 kids, one is a normal human kid, another one's like an alien kid in like rocket boots were like flying. They're like, hey, Ben 10K, keep up the good job, man, or whatever the heck is said. They's like, Ben 10K. Then they turn around and see a giant statue of Ben, and they're like, it reads, hero of all heroes, Ben 10,000. He's like, whoa, is that me? Then the statue explodes and fall down, and Gwen is like, that was you. And it turns out it is Exo-Skull, who's like a cyber rhino dude. I think he was human. They got mutated into a rhino. Then he got outfitted with like cybernetics and stuff. But he's like, Tennyson, blah, blah, blah. I've been looking for you since the last time. Revenge stuff. Ben doesn't know him. Ben's like, I don't know who you are, but you're about to find out who, you're about to find out who a heroes of all hero is, or something like. You're about to find out why they call me a hero of all heroes. Runs at this dude, but as soon as he's about to go hit him with accelerate, my boy turns back into himself. Smacks onto Exo-Skull shirt. And if you don't know who Exo-Skull is, because he only showed up once in this episode, then he didn't show up to like Omniverse. That's where he had more fleshed out stuff. So I am familiar with him, but he's with Mel Truant and stuff. That's in the future. Either way, back into this. the Exo Skull starts shooting like laser beams from his rhino horn, cybernetic horn thing. Ben and Gwen are running out the way. That's when the person who kidnapped them starts shooting magic blast at the, or we don't know if it's magic, but starts shooting beams and magic beams at Exo Skull. Exo Skull then shoots his stuff. She blocks. She creates a barrier to block. But then Exo Skull shoots a grenade thing that opens up into a net, an electro net. Goes over Gwen and shocks her. I said the name. Goes over the kidnapper named Gwen and shocks her, or Gwendolyn, and shocks her. Someone's from the outside. But either way, while that's happening, he then goes to go finish off Ben and Gwen. I forgot what they were gonna say, but either way, out of nowhere, another Accelerate pulls up. Super speed rocks this dude. Exo Skull breaks his horn, breaks his cybernetics, spins him all around. Then dude just falls. And Ben's like, "What the heck is happening?" Then finally he stops and they see his back. Gwen is like, "Ben, is that Accelerate?" Do. And he's, instead of blue and black, now he's black and white and a little bit of gray. And he's like, seems like the work of Animo. He starts using his visor and stuff. Apparently this Ben 10,000 has like nanotech included with his aliens to like upgrade him and stuff. He's smart now. He knows how to do stuff. Let's just say that. But after that, that's when I'm trying to remember what happens. But oh yeah, he's talking to the kidnapper. He's like, looks like the work of Dr. Animo. After he scanned Exo Skull. You should get him to the lab or something. You should get him to the lab, something like that. But he's about to leave. That's when regular Kid Ben just shows up. "Hey, you're me, right? You're so cool, and I'm so cool. This is awesome." Typical reaction if you see yourself as an adult being awesome and stuff. Then he's like, "Did you say headquarters? I have my own headquarters." He's like, "I don't have time for this." He turns around, but I don't know how Ben is catching up to him, even though he's in Accelerate form. But he turns around, bam. What's good? Ben's in front of him again. I don't know how he's faster than Accelerate, but Ben just shows up again. He's like, wait. So when can you catch me up with my remaining 9,990 aliens? He's like, how about never? Then he runs off. And before this, he tells the kidnapper to get them home. And then he runs off. And Gwen, the young Gwen, and the older kidnapper, Gwendolyn, is like, "You could lose the attitude, That's when she's like, "What? Wait, you're me? You're Gwen," or I guess they said you're Gwen. Then she's like, I haven't gone by Gwen since college. And she takes off her mask and stuff. She's like, "College? Ivy League?" This is younger Gwen. "I go to college? Did I happen to get my black belt?" She starts asking him questions and stuff. She doesn't say too much, but she's like, "Hey, it's cool. It just, I had to bring you here because Ben had problem listening," which he does. He had a hearing problem. So to get him to listen, I had to get you. Ben's out here pouting. He's like, how dare you guys talk in front of me about me like that? So he's like, hey, I thought this was about me. And she's like, the older Gwendolyn, I'll just call her Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn's like, yes, this is about you. And Gwen's like, don't tell me we grew up to just agree with him all the time. But she's like, no. There's a danger or a threat looming. Even Ben 10,000 can't even take the threat or something. And what's his name? Regular Ben's like, well, I look pretty tough. I could take it. He's like, then she gives the explanation. But Ben's like, maybe the danger has to do with what's in Sector 18 Centric. I think that's what they said. It has to do with the whole Animo stuff. Fort DNA X. That's what they call it. At the time, Grandpa Max, because his RV comes and it can fly now. It flies. He comes out. They hide behind Gwen. He's like, hey, Gwendolyn, how you? Then out of nowhere, they pop out. We're here too, Grandpa. He's like, oh, this is awesome. Or he says this is like a gift or something. He starts seeing you two again, kissing his two grandbabies. And at this point, since they're both adults, they should be in their 30s, yeah. Because this is 20 years in the future. Just letting you know, it's 20 years in the future. So Gwen and Ben are both 30. So he gets to see the 10-year-old versions of them again. And he's happy and stuff. He's like, oh, I don't get to see you guys. Ben's like, Ben's like, you don't get to see us much. He's like, oh, I get to see Gwendolyn over there, but you know, you're a super important hero now. He's talking about the Ben 10K. You're a super important guy now, so you got your own things. But then they ask him for a ride, and Gwen are like, Fort DNA X. Gwendolyn and Gwen are like, Fort DNA X. They hop into the rust bucket. It turns into like a futuristic car plane thing and flies off and stuff. As they're flying off, Ben's like, where do I sleep? That Gwen's like, in your super fancy headquarters. And he's like, oh, okay. And as they're leaving, because they arrive at Fort DNA X, Ben's like, Grandpa, you want to come in? You want to come join the fight? Because that's how it is, you know. In the OG series, it was Ben, Gwen, and Grandpa going at it to save people. He's like, no, you haven't needed me in a long time. Just make sure to say bye to me before Gwendolyn sends you home. They're like, okay. Then they hop off. So they don't know what's about to happen. Ben's like, okay, I know what to do. I'm gonna turn to forearms. My boy hits the Omnitrix, turns into Stick Fly. He's like, oh man. So all three of them go into the area, and I don't think it's in his headquarters, but they go into the area to go deal with whatever the heck is the emergency in Fort DNA X or Sector 18 Centric or something like that, whatever they call it. We see Ben 10K in his what's it called, forearms form, fighting, guess who, Dr. Animo, the first time we ever see him with his monkey body, because I'm not gonna spoil it, but basically Dr. Animo now is just a head on a giant gorilla body, a white gorilla body and stuff, or white furred gorilla body, and him and Ben 10K are throwing these hands. The regular Ben shows up. He's like, hey, I was about to turn into forearms too. Great minds think alike. He's like, ugh. He's just annoyed by his younger self. Ben 10K is just annoyed by his younger self, while Gwen goes in there to try to help him because distractions and stuff. But this dude Ben jumps in for whatever stupid reasons. He gets smacked by Animo, which gives Animo the opportunity to get Gwen. I think he reflected one of her blasts back onto her or something like that when she tries to blast him. But after seeing that, Ben 10K is like, okay, this little kid uses a pipe on the floor, slams it to like tie Stinkfly's tail so he can't fly. He's like, come on, let me join in on the action. But then he rushes in. First, I think he goes Diamond Head first, because he turns into Diamond Head while Animo carries some big arm wrecking thing, launches it at him. He puts up a diamond shield, gets smashed. But since this is Ben 10K, he has his master control. So instantly he turns into Buzzshock. I think that was his name. The small dude, small imp with the... Is it Buzzshock? I don't think so. But he's the one with the... I might have the correction there. But he's the small one that can shoot and stuff. He's like the... Is it Gigawatts? I think his name is Gigawatts. I'm pretty sure it's Gigawatts. But he turns into a Gigawatts, shocks what's his name, Dr. Animo. Then after that, I think he turns into Spitter, this is the debut of Spitter. He's like a giant frog looking alien with like, he can spit stuff. That's all I can say. He spits like green goo or slime at Dr. Animo. Then after that, what else did he turn into? There's something else he turned into. It's just not coming to my brain right now. But he essentially subdues. He turns into Cannibal. I forgot. He turns into Cannibal, smacks into Dr. Animo. Dr. Animo flings into some chambers. And by the way, where they were fighting at, there was like stasis pods with like, I guess, corpses in them. Dr. Animo slams into one of the corpses and stuff. And it's like, passes out or whatever. Then Ben turns to forearms, walks up, looking like he's about to end this dude. Dr. Animo was like, whoa, Ben, chill. Ben, you know you're Ben 10K, but you don't have to be like K-ing everybody and stuff. But nah, he just wraps up Dr. Animo with like some pipes and ropes and shit, and like puts a metal over him to attach him to one of the broken stasis pods. Ooh, hey, start my video without burping. Then after this, he then looks. After this, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, what are they called? Anyway, Ultramous or Ultimos, the Galactic Protectors, the Galactic, whatever they're called, Galactic Guardians. I forget their name, but those three hero with the Tetraman lady, the giant brain guy, and Ultimus, who is like a Superman ripoff, show up to help. They teleport, beam down, and try to help. But Ben's like, it's already done. But he's like, hey, Ultimus is like, you can save some bad guys for us and stuff. He's like, nah, what would be the point? Turns into Accelerate, grabs Ben and Gwen, then takes off. Oh, and he tells Gwen, I'll see you back at headquarters. And they both take off. As they leave, this dude, what's his name? Animal's like, oh no, you got me, basically like feigning defeat. Then when Ultimus and his team, the Galactic Guardians I don't think that's their name. It's not Galactic Invaders. Either way, they walk up, I'll probably have the correction there. They walk up, but then this dude, Animal has like a vent thing on his screwed on ape body with his head, and because the cybernetics for him is like right here, he shoots some smoke at them and they pass out. Then after that, he turns around and it turns out there's like a thing. I'm gonna go back to that because I'm kind of going off order. As Ben is running, I guess Gwen and Ben start asking Ben 10K about the future and stuff. By this time, Ben already turned into himself. His Omnitrix timed out, so he's asking, oh, so what? Oh, I guess Animo is still out and running and stuff. He's like, yeah, he escaped a few years back and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Then Gwen asked about Vilgax, and he's like, oh, Vilgax, let's just say I did some stuff to him. He basically killed Vilgax, or beat him up so bad that he couldn't move. But yeah, the last time I saw of him, I put him in pieces. Less said about that. Then this dude, Ben, is like, wow, I need to lighten up. Then this goes to the scene with the whole poisoning the Galactic, whatever, Guardians or whatever they called them. What's his name? Animal poisoning them. Then after this, he then shoots, because the pod apparently he was looking for was Vilgax's dead corpse. He then shoots like an energy ray at him to like generate Vilgax, and Vilgax was like mangled up and it was real bad. Ben was right. Enough said about that. That dude looked hella nasty. Some nasty ass calamari. But after this, we then go to the headquarters, where Ben 10K takes him in there. The hair is all messed up from running super fast and stuff. And he's like, wait here until Gwendolyn comes by to take you home. And don't touch anything. So he goes around to go do his stuff. And by the way, Ben 10K patrols the planet 24/7. So he doesn't have fun. Or thus, Ben doesn't have fun. And young Ben's like, I can't believe I say thus now. Or Ben doesn't have time to hang out. Obviously, young Ben is Ben. He goes around touching stuff, sees a hoverboard, hops on it. While Gwen's like, he said you shouldn't touch anything. He's like, well, why should I listen to me? You don't listen to me. This dude Ben knows what he's doing. Look, I'm sorry. He's cool. I get he's not cool. He's kind of a prick. He purposely like almost hit his cousin with the hoverboard, and then tries to taunt her while looking at his older self. He's like, hey, look, I almost took out, you don't even laugh when I terrorize Gwen anymore. So he knows what he's doing. He just likes doing it. You don't even laugh when I terrorize Gwen anymore. And he's like, hey, come on. I got pretty cool moves, right? Then Ben is like, no. Ben 10K is like, no. Super still in accelerator form. Rips the hoverboard from him. He smacks on the floor. Then he's like, I think what's his name? Ben 10K is like, fun is over or something. So Ben is like, what I'm over with is being a hero. If this is how I turn out to be, you're such a big jerk. I'm like, Ben, you're kind of a jerk too. Right? Young Ben, you're kind of a jerk too. I mean, I guess he has his reasons. You know, he's jaded, but you're kind of a jerk as a little kid. But anyway, after that, Gwendolyn comes by. They start talking and stuff. What did they start talking about? Yeah, he's telling Gwendolyn to send them back. But before that, Ultimus says, oh, what's his name? Hits up Ben through the monitor like a hologram. He's like, oh, Ben, Animo escaped again. And now he's in, well, anyway, he's in the Novoid chamber. I don't know what I can't remember what they called it. But either way, Ben's like, I gotta go do that. Ben 10K is like, I gotta go take care of that. He's like, send them back. So he rushes down. Younger Ben is like, well, I'm not going back. I don't care what you say. Whatever the thing I have to save him from or help him with, it's probably down at the place. So at the place where the emergency is. So where is it? And she's like, oh, it's Gwendolyn, the older Gwen is like, oh, it's 5 stories down or something. The Novoid projector. So they run down to go handle that. Ben 10K gets there first. After he gets there, he sees Animo trying to open up the Nova Void. He turns into Diamond Head, turns his hands into blades. He's like, Animo, this ends now. I'm like, damn, this guy's about to murder people. This Ben dude was killing people. Let's be serious. I think he was killing people. But yeah, this ends now. But then out of nowhere, he hears a familiar voice. It's the boy, the man himself, Velgax, pulls up. He's like, oh, I forgot what he said, but he essentially mocks him and stuff. Then instantly attacks Ben 10K. As he's attacking Ben 10K, the other 3 show up. Young Ben is on the hoverboard. Then he looks at it, he's like, Vilgax is back. He's like, you guys take Animo. I'll handle Vilgax. Then Gwendolyn is like, with pleasure. And those two run up to go fight Dr. Animo. Ben tries to turn into, I think he says 4 arms again, but he turns it to upgrade. He's like, oh man. Merges with the hoverboard and they start fighting. The aliens that Ben 10K turns into is like a more adult version of his regular form. So you have heat blast with like giant streaming volcano things off here with like flames going off. Once again, Wild Mutt is like a bigger, more terrifying version of himself. Stuff like that. Stingfly has like sharper stingers or something like that. But yeah, he's fighting Vilgax along with regular Ben, but he can't do anything because Vilgax is like, I've had Animo programmed your 10,000 DNAs into my new DNA body or whatever. Nothing he can do can surprise me. So whatever he turns into Accelerate. Vilgax has like some small grenade mine thing shooting at him. He has like a whip now or something. Regular young kid Ben turns into older Ben turns him into Cannonball. He's like, oh, I don't have to be Ben anymore. And he's like, follow my lead. But he catches him when he tries to hit him with his cannonball form, slams him in the ground, slams Kid Ben in the ground. Basically has both of them, is about to finish both of them off. That's when the OG pulls up, his OG nemesis, Grandpa Max. He's like, get your claws off my grandson. Get your damn claws, or something like that. Then shoots like a giant energy gun thing, which I think is the same one he used in the season 1 finale. And he also used it in Gwen 10, I think that would be called. But he shoots Vilgax with it. Get your paws off my grandson. Shoots him with it. Then Kid Ben is like, go help the Gwens, they're inside. So he goes to go help them. That's when Vilgax just after getting blasted, runs out of nowhere, grabs those two, jumps off the building, the HR building or headquarters building, flies down like, I don't know, 50 stories or something, maybe 60, I don't know, a lot of stories. He's like, did they punch each other? I think they punch each other sometimes, but they crash in the middle of the city. Some dude, some alien kid with his hoverboard flies off of it and essentially gets damaged. So everyone has to clear out. While inside, Dr. Animo is somehow beating up Gwendolyn and Gwen, even though Gwendolyn has magic. It makes no sense. By the way, he punches what's her name, Gwendolyn, but then he almost squashes Kid Gwen. That's when Grandpa Max, with a robot arm, grabs Gwen and pulls her. She's like, well, how did this happen? He's like, a lot of things can happen in 20 years. Then he turns his hand into like a blaster and is like, let's go show him what we Tennysons are made of. Then all 3 run and go jump this dude. And Gwendolyn's using like fire magic, a bunch of different magics and stuff. Going back to regular Ben and Ben 10K, around the crater, they come out the crater. Then Ben has to give Ben 10K a pep talk. He's like, bro, he might know your aliens in your DNA, but he doesn't know what Ben 10 can do. But have you forgotten what Ben 10 can do? I just hope after all this time you haven't. dude, my boy Ben 10K gets inspired. Just like looking at him, and he's in forearms form at this point. He's like, that's when Vilgax pulls up. Yeah. But nothing you can do can surprise me. It's just a matter of time before I kill both of you. Whatever he's saying his typical bad guy stuff. That's when Ben 10K finally turns back into his regular form. He's like, maybe you're right. Maybe it's time I should start fighting like you do. He turns back to his regular form, hits Ben, who's still in cannon bolt form, turns him into Diamond Head. He's like, follow my lead, and he grabs the hoverboard from the kid that had the hoverboard that they crashed into and stuff. Hopefully the kid's okay. It's an alien kid, so maybe he has alien powers. But either way, Ben 10K hops on it, then tells our Ben to follow his lead in his Diamond Head form. So he starts shooting Diamond Head blasts at him while Ben 10K and the hoverboard is like distracting Vilgax, getting him to chase. He's like, this is your pathetic human form. This won't work. Why don't blah blah. Basically saying typical bad guy stuff. He chases him. Ben 10K lures him into like some gutter river thing or pool thing. Goes behind him, turns into that spitter alien again. Actually, no. Before he turns into the spitter alien, he has Ben use Diamond Head to like put a bunch of crystals in front of him, giant crystals to push Vilgax back. Then he turns into the spitter alien. I think he is called Spitter. Then shoots a giant loogie or slime or whatever at Vilgax. Vilgax falls into the water, but as soon as he's swimming up, Ben 10K turns into Articuno. Oh, it's not Articuno. That's Pokemon. Arctiguana. That's his name. This is before he named, or this is where he named him. He freezes the water, which is like Arctiguana is like a ice lizard or something. He freezes the water, freezing Vilgax. Bam, they got him. While basically Animal Gas jumped until his head screws off and they win. I'm talking about Grandpa Max and the two Gwens. So Ben's like, oh, what do you call this one? I don't name, because Ben 10K doesn't name his aliens anymore. He thought it was Kitty or whatever, but he's like, it is. Also, Kid Ben is like, that was half the fun, but he's like Absolute Zero when he tries to name the alien, and Ben's like, no, how about Arctiquana? And that's where he got the name Arctiquana for that one. Then they finally celebrate Grandpa Max's 80th birthday, because since this is 20 years in the future, 20 years in the past, it would be 60 years. They're celebrating his birthday. Ultimus hits up Ben's like, oh, Ben, the circus freaks. I think Zombozo's crew, but they don't call them Zombozo's crew at this point. But Zombozo's crew is doing some crazy shit. While Ben's like, no, look, don't you see I'm with my grandpa celebrating his birthday? Maybe you guys can handle it. And they're like, what, really? They're excited. Ultimus out. And they go do that stuff. Because Ben was patrolling the planet 24/7, doing all the superhero stuff. So as they're celebrating the birthday, Grandpa Max is like, this is the best birthday gift ever. I get to see both sets of his grandkids. Then Gwen opens up the portal finally for them to leave. And Ben's like, wait. You never told me how many aliens and, the secret of the Omnitrix, or how I can never go Ben again. He's like, no. You're going to want to have to go Ben. I think I learned that from you. Then he gives him like a cube thing. He's like, what is this? Something I should have given Grandpa 20 years ago. And both of them go in the portal. Before that, he's like, see ya. And I guess we're going to be ya. The portal closes. Grandpa Max comes literally as soon as they left. He comes as soon as they left the past version of them went to the future. They arrive, so it doesn't interrupt the time flow. They're like, oh, Ben, Gwen, where are you? They hug him. Then Ben pulls out the cube thing, and it turns into a cake. He's like, Grandpa, I got something for you, and it's a cake. And he's like, oh, this is the best 60th birthday ever. And they have fun and celebrate his birthday. So I don't know, or whatever the outro happens. But either way, I'm going on almost 30 minutes. Either way, this was a fun episode. First time we ever met Ben 10K. Honestly, this is my favorite version of him. The Omniverse version is cool too, and I guess that now they're kind of merging them to be the same dude. But honestly, it doesn't matter. I view them as distinct people. Also, Ben 10K from Alien Force, we don't talk about that dude. I don't think I'm ever going to talk about him. So this is the only time I'm talking about him. But yeah, Ben 10K has Master Control. His Omnitrix looks more like a gauntlet. Apparently he was killing people, or implied he was killing people. He did it to Vilgax. And this is the first time we saw Animo in his white monkey gorilla body thing. So we got that. Is there anything I want to say? Oh yeah, I'm going to be rating this Vilgax later on with my other Vilgaxes to see who's the strongest Vilgax. But I'm getting up on 30 minutes. I'm cool with it being this long. Thank you guys for watching Chris Splatoon. Oh yeah, comment, all that stuff. Drop a like, share, all that amazing stuff. And this has been channel Tell Me More, Abe, the haven for early 2000s kids and a few 90s babies. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.